An annual celebration famously known in the southeastern United States is also observed around the world and even here at Texas Tech. Find out how one student group brought the energy of Mardi Gras to student living on campus.
It's only February, but many Red Raiders are starting to think about their future here at Texas Tech. We'll show you how one university group brought together the academic community to showcase the many fields of study available on campus.
And the Texas Tech Red Raider basketball team is preparing for the next opponent on the Big 12 schedule after receiving some bad news this week. MCTV's Trinity Boudreaux has the story along with a preview of a busy weekend for Texas Tech athletics and sports.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Pedro Gonzalez.
And I'm Elene Khajishvili. The countdown to Easter has begun for many people this week after taking time to indulge in an annual celebration marking the final day before the start of Lent.
Mardi Gras, also known as Fat Tuesday, was observed around the world this week, and Texas Tech campus was no exception. Tech Resident Halls Association decided to get into the fun this year by hosting a Fat Tuesday feast in the Honors Hall classroom. The event started at 7 p.m. on Tuesday night, and all students who live in the dorms were invited to attend. Fat Tuesday feast featured free chicken from Wingstop, along with traditional Mardi Gras favorites such as king cake and beignets. RHA has also provided free masks and, of course, lots of beads to help students get into the party spirit. The on-campus celebration wrapped up around 9 o'clock on Tuesday night, but Mardi Gras officially ended at midnight the following day. Many Christians began the observance of Lent on Ash Wednesday. As for Easter this year, it falls on Sunday, April 5th.
It may still feel like the semester has begun, but the beginning of midterms is just over a week away. For many students, the midpoint of the spring is also a time to start thinking about the next school year. And that includes deciding on whether or not they are on the right academic path. With that in mind, the Office of Student Engagement hosted the Majors and Minors Fair on Tuesday in the Sub Ballroom. The fair featured representatives from all of the university's colleges, giving attendees the chance to explore potential major and minor options. Advisors, professors, and even current students from dozens of departments were available to help answer questions and give information on course offerings and career opportunities. Attendees could also learn about a variety of certificate programs available through the university's 10 colleges. Skylar Hoodenpile with Student Engagement says the fair is a unique option for students, especially those who may still be figuring out their future.
I am not a Texas Tech alum, but they didn't have a program like this where I attended college. I wish they did, because I changed my major a few times before I finally figured out what I wanted to do. And that's where I think having this Majors and Minors Fair, M&M for short, is beneficial to students because it helps them make an informed decision long term throughout their journey at Texas Tech.
Once students finished up in the ballroom, they could exit through the Red Raider Lounge, where they were encouraged to leave feedback by answering questions on whiteboards around the room. In the past, the Majors and Minors Fair had been a staple on the annual campus calendar, but this week's fair was the first time Student Engagement had hosted the event since the fall of 2023.
Changing majors was probably not on the mind of many upperclassmen this week, but there was another option on the schedule that gave students closer to graduation a chance to order a special keepsake to remind them of their time here on campus for years to come. On Tuesday morning, the Texas Tech Alumni Association opened the doors of the McKenzie Market Alumni Center to students for the spring edition of the Red Raider Ring Days. The biannual event gives students with at least 60 undergrad hours the chance to browse and try on rings, learn about the fall ring ceremony, and place an order for the popular keepsake. Red Raider Ring Days is held in the fall and the spring as a covenant option for upperclassmen interested in getting a ring, but attendees also had the opportunity to enter a raffle for a free diploma frame or grab some free refreshments while they waited to be sized. If you did happen to place your order this week, you can make plans to attend this spring's ring ceremony coming up later this semester. The ring ceremony is scheduled for Sunday, April 19th at the United Supermarket Arena. Attendees will receive their ring during the event while hearing from members of the university and the Alumni Association about the importance of the tradition. For more information, visit texastechalumni.org and click on the official TTU ring under the shop tab. Last weekend, the Lubbock area received so much needed rain, but this week we've been dealing with another form of weather.
High winds have been impacting the South Plains throughout the week. But wind wasn't the only issue causing problems for local residents. On Tuesday afternoon, wind speeds increased and the South Plains area experienced a dust storm. Visibility dropped quickly as wind gusts averaged 30 to 50 miles per hour. The Lubbock International Airport even recorded a 73 mile per hour gust on Tuesday evening. Along with the winds, wildfires broke out in the northern South Plains near Plainview, and some fires continue to burn in the Panhandle near Amarillo. The wind speeds were a bit lighter yesterday afternoon, but gusts still reached as high as 40 miles per hour, kicking up dust into the atmosphere for a second day in a row.
The wind may not be as much of a concern today, but the week's not over yet. Chief Weather Specialist Elisabeth Herring joins us now with the details on what to expect from now through the weekend in today's MCTV forecast. Elizabeth?
Yeah, well, it was such a windy day on Tuesday. I'm sure you ran into a lot of dust either walking to or from class or driving around campus. And with 73 miles recorded at the airport, that is a lot of dust, especially when we haven't had a lot of rain in the South Plains, and unfortunately we still are under a drought. And unfortunately we do have some more wind forecasted later this week. Today, wind speeds just breezy to gusty, but I would say more on the breezy side for Lubbock, right around 20 mile per hour gust here in Lubbock. But as we head into Friday, late afternoon, early evening, right around 4 o'clock, 30 mile per hour gusts in Lubbock and even close to 40 miles per hour in some areas of the South Plains. That is only going to increase as we head into our early evening and then tapering off as we head into nightfall and leaving us with breezy conditions for Saturday. But that wind is also going to bring along a cold front, dropping our temperatures mid-Friday, late afternoon, early evening, and also into Saturday. Bring us back down into the 50s for Saturday and lows back under freezing for Saturday night as well. And we do have a red flag warning in the South Plains area covering most of the South Plains. So just be mindful of any weekend activities you're doing tomorrow night or the next day, as wind spark unfortunately could lead to some wildfires. We already did see a few wildfires in Plainview as well. Lows tonight across the South Plains in the 20s and 30s, about half of us seeing freezing tonight. Tomorrow, highs in the 60s across the South Plains. However, that is going to be the high and dropping off pretty much right as we hit that high, dropping off with that cool front moving in with those gustier winds as well. Tonight here locally in Lubbock, just above freezing, low of 33 degrees. Tomorrow, high of 66 and then dropping off rapidly as we hit that cold front. As we head into this weekend, cold front dropping temperatures for Saturday as well, high of 56. Sunday, 60 degrees. Lows pretty chilly, 25 degrees on Saturday night. And as we head into next week, starting out the week in the 60s, but then we hit 80 degrees on Tuesday and Wednesday, even close to upper 80s on Wednesday, Thursday in the 70s. So some unseasonably warm temperatures for next week. Lows also unseasonably warm for next week as well. If you have Saturday night plans, bundle up. It's going to be a chilly night and that breeze is still going to hang around, so making it feel a little bit colder. And also be mindful of your weekend activities with that red flag warning in effect. I'm Elizabeth and it is back to y'all.
Thanks, Elizabeth. The end of the regular season for both the men's and women's basketball teams is just over 2 weeks away, but both teams are making national headlines deep into the schedule.
And Tech baseball and softball are preparing for another busy weekend, with one team back on the road and the other prepares for their debut on the home diamond. MCTV's Trinity Boudreaux is here in the studio with a look around Texas Tech athletics and sports. Trinity?
Thank you, Pedro and Elene. Texas Tech Athletics has a packed weekend coming up featuring a women's softball tournament, men's and women's basketball games, and a home baseball series. Let's start with men's basketball. After coming off of a huge win over then #1 ranked Arizona in an overtime thriller, the number 13 Red Raiders unfortunately lost on the road against unranked Arizona State Tuesday night, 67-62. JT Toppin led the Red Raiders with 20 points and 8 rebounds before exiting with an injury with only 6 minutes left in the game and not returning. He also recorded 4 blocks and 2 steals, shooting 8 of 18 from the field. Christian Anderson added 18 points along with 6 assists and 6 rebounds, while Donovan Atwell scored 12 points and went 4 of 8 for 3-pointers. Unfortunately for Texas Tech men's basketball and Red Raider fans, JT Toppin suffered a season-ending ACL tear in his right knee during the game. Texas Tech finished the game shooting nearly 41% from the three-point line and was 10 for 13 from the free throw line. The Red Raiders committed 17 turnovers and saw the Sun Devils have a 21-6 scoring advantage off turnovers. This now puts Texas Tech at 19-7 on the season and 9-4 in Big 12 play. Up next, the Red Raiders will host Kansas State at United Supermarkets Arena Saturday afternoon with a tip-off set at 1:30 to get back in the win column and continue on the hunt for a top seed in the March Madness bracket. The number 20 ranked Lady Raiders basketball team hosted the number 15 ranked Baylor Bears at United Supermarkets Arena last night for a huge top-ranked matchup. The Lady Raiders showed up and showed out for a huge blowout win, outscoring the Baylor Bears 87-56. This is the Lady Raiders' first win against Baylor at home since 2006 and their third top 15 ranked win this season. Tech pulled ahead to 48-28 at the half and extended the lead to as much as 35 in the fourth quarter. Snudda Collins led the team with 23, Bailey Maupin with 22, while Sarangbe Sanago had 7 rebounds. This puts the Red and Black at 24-4 over the season and 11-4 in conference play. Up next, the Lady Raiders will be on the road in Boulder to go up against the Colorado Buffaloes this Saturday night, with a tip-off set at 7. The number 2 ranked Texas Tech women's softball team has traveled over to Palm Springs, California to compete in the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic to play in 6 games over the next 4 days. Their first 2 games are tonight against Fresno State at 5:30, and then they will play an exhibition game against Team Japan at 8. They will then play Bethune-Cookman on Friday at 12:30. On Saturday, they will play another pair of games against Cal State Fullerton at 2 and San Diego State at 4:30. Lastly, they will close out the tournament Sunday with the matchup against UC Riverside Sunday afternoon at 11. The Lady Raiders are currently 11-1 with their only loss to then number 8 ranked Nebraska in last weekend's tournament in Clearwater, Florida. Be prepared to see another set of different lineups this weekend. Coach Gary Glasgow has yet to use the same lineup 2 games in a row this season and has played 14 players or more in a game 6 times this season, with 4 of those times being this past weekend. This is a trend that will likely continue as Glasgow used 57 different lineups in Tech's 68 games last season. Kaylin Terry has been a force in all 3 phases of the game for the Lady Raiders. She is hitting at .480 with 5 RBIs and has a .98 ERA with a 4-0 record through 21.1 innings of play. She also leads the team with 35 strikeouts and has walked just 4 batters on the season while having a 1 fielding percentage. Texas Tech baseball has entered the win column with an on-the-road victory over UT Rio Grande Valley with a score of 21-12. The Red Raiders finally got their bats hot Tuesday night in the Valley. Freshman shortstop Lincoln Garcia hit 2 home runs, bringing in 6 total runs, while third baseman Connor Schaus went 5 for 6 behind the plate, bringing in another 3 runs, despite being 0 for 12 for the season. The game started off as another nail-biter for Texas Tech fans. The team entered with an 0-3 record and went into the 3rd inning down 2-8 until the Red Raiders rallied back to get to 11-10 by the end of the 5th inning. They continued to score 10 more runs to finish the game on top. The Red Raiders recorded 20 hits, 7 doubles, and only 1 error. Up next, the Red Raiders will host Albany to begin their 15-game homestand on Friday afternoon with a first pitch set at 2, followed by Saturday's game beginning at noon and then finishing the home opening series on Sunday afternoon at 1. That's all for Texas Tech Sports. Back to you, Pedro and Elene.
Thanks, Trinity. Many students here on campus stop by the University Rec Center each week to work out, play intramural sports, or take a few laps in the pool.
But what you may not know is that UREC is offering some additional services this year beyond exercise that could help you feel and look good. University Recreations Fitness and Wellness is now offering a full-service spa in the rec center. The spa offers massage, facial, and waxing services for an additional fee. The massage options include deep tissue and hot stone massages, and facial services include acne-focused treatments and anti-aging facials. All of the services are provided by licensed professionals who are now available at the rec center. Appointments are required for any of the spa's services, and pricing varies dependent on if you are a TTU student or whether or not you have a rec center membership. To schedule an appointment or get more info on pricing, you can call 806-742-3828 or stop by the Fitness and Wellness office on the east side of the rec center.
So, Elene, have you used any of the rec center spa services yet?
No, not yet. What about you?
Not as well. That's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you next week.